Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue our January well-wishing special edition. And today we're talking about one of the most, it's easy to hear these expressions in the beginning of the new year, but actually you can say it to anybody at kind of career change or gear shifting time of their life. Basically, somebody is stepping onto a new platform or going on a different path. The trajectory is unknown, at least not based on this person's personal experience. And so when you say 升官发财, you wish somebody to achieve higher position, get promoted, and then you wish somebody have their wealth grow over the years. So this is universal. You can apply it in any time. And here you can also see in Chinese culture, the cultural values in two parallel dimensions that for one to achieve in society, one is to have the social ladder climbing, that you are going to be able to rule over a bigger population. As part of the government apparatus, all right, you're going to rank higher in the government. And then the other is accumulate your personal wealth. So I guess that's a difference between China and Western society. This political ambition was actually embedded in our language and as the value that if you want to be remembered and if you want to achieve anything, wealth itself is not enough. You have to have more political clout, so to speak, to be able to have more influence. So I guess one is for fame, one is for fortune. Okay, 升官, promoted. I translated promoted position, but it's not that accurate, because I try to make it relatable to today's world. For the most of us, we're not working in governmental jobs, and in America, working in the government doesn't really give you, a sense of personal power. Basically, you're serving in the government as funded by the taxpayer. The sense of ownership or motivation came from a different place than in ancient Chinese society, when there's only one ruler, the emperor, and then the whole hierarchy, the pyramid shape, right? And everybody tried to climb upper in this hierarchy. So this is this different motivation. So for us, I'm translating into position because most of us can relate to a position, not really governmental job. Okay, so promote, 升, was originally a unit of volume measurement. It's roughly like a liter. So when we translate a liter, this English volume unit, we translate it into 升, and it was actually ancient practice of measuring the volume of crops, because Chinese is a agrarian society. So at the end of the year, how much your crops are going to be, actually, crops was used as a tax paying form. Instead of paying money, farmers at the end of their year of working are going to pay their tax by contributing to the state-owned crop, I guess, warehouse, right? So their crops then at that moment is going to be measured, and it has to be measured quickly. So this device of marking of different volumes, I guess it's a standardized thing, right? So you can see 2 dimensions here, actually 3 dimensions. You can almost see ancient times to draw a 3-dimensional thing. So this is the bottom with this 2-dimensional crescent cross to give you the sense of the bottom of the container, right? And then vertically, it has this marking of how deep or how high the crops go to. And then based on that, you're evaluated if you meet enough tax for that year. Okay, so from the measuring of the crops, then it gets to the sense of you want to see that crops rise higher and higher, hitting higher marks along this vertical line, right? And that gives you the sense of not only the volume, but actually going up on the volume. So this going upward going motion then is related to the promotion, this higher in the rank of sense. I mean, social sense, from spatial sense, transfer to social sense. Okay, that's 升官. We have this big arch thing with a chimney. That means a space, a private space, or defined dome. Normally, it's used with domestic, the sense of private property, and that's where the property belongs to you, not outside public space. It's a private space. But in this sense, in this word, there is this structure, which is kind of a vertical line with two kind of boxes attached to it. There are other situations this pattern occur. That is when it's built into the character of army. And now when I'm connecting the dots of here, it actually means government official. And the army one, it means somebody who is part of the unit of, military unit. So this is a government political unit. That one is military unit. Both of them share this icon. So then the deduction of that is, okay, it's very likely this vertical with two boxes. This structure means population that is registered, that is combined together as, in the US, we have a US census, right? Going to different regions to kind of head count. So in ancient times, Chinese government also have this registration of how many people, like to understand the population size of a particular region so that they can govern over them. So this represents the registered population under the government. So there is this domestic sense of population, probably in the city, in the town, it's easier to manage. And I mean, that's probably wrong, because ancient society, even more population it's doing farming work. So I guess majority of the population and whoever paying tax with their crops are farmers. They are the value creators versus merchants are, they are just accumulate wealth by using the difference between buy and sell. Doesn't really viewed by the Chinese ruler back then as value creation. So this dome thing paired with this registered population means it's a domestic sense. It's not out there in the open, in the outdoor. That creates the military unit word. So this is, I guess, indoor versus that outdoor version. This arch with a chimney, that signifies as indoor. So it's a household count, and that gives you the sense of this rank of government official is ruling over this region, this household. Okay, so that's position that came from this government official icon. Okay, 发财, we have grow wealth. And when you hear Chinese wish everybody Chinese New Year, the first thing they say is 恭喜发财. 恭喜发财 is like a pre-congratulate you that you're going to make a ton of wealth in the new year. And so I guess this make more money is on the forefront of the priorities of what your new year you want to accomplish. Always make more money. And this 发财 has a difference between grow your money versus expand your wealth in a quick, the speed of money aggregation is fast. So the sense of speed is expressed by 发 is arrow shooting practice. So we have two foot icons on the top of the frame. This is the big toe, pinky toe, the rest of the middle toes. So that's a Chinese three-toe representation of foot symbol. And you can see because they're mirror image. So it's actually your left and right foot in there. And then here is a structure of a bow. So there is a point where you can set the arrow on. That's the bow shape. And then the right side is 3-finger hand symbol and this tool wielding thing. So this tool wielding thing plus the hand symbol means somebody is wielding the tool. And in the context of this bow shape, that means somebody is getting ready to shoot the arrow. And when you have paired it with the 2 feet standing straight in there, that's the posture of you getting ready to shoot the arrow. So you have to have the feet shoulder width wide, and then position your arrow kind of sideways, right? So if I'm facing the camera in this way, I have to shoot this way, horizontally. I mean, this is 90 degrees. You cannot shoot to the front like a gun shooting, facing it. Arrow shooting is sideways. You have to do this side arrow releasing. So here, actually, in this frame, it shows the position of arrow shooting. Your feet are standing this way, and then the bow is actually pointing sideways. And this arrow shooting, I guess in ancient times, from the human-made tools, arrow probably is the fastest speed that we can, like a humanly made and triggered and released in the air. That's the fastest thing, man-made, right? We definitely don't have guns back then, or trains or bullet trains even, right? So you see bullet trains. Later on in our language, we use bullet because that's the fastest known human-made thing that's commonly known for people, and use bullet to represent speed, right? In this case, we're using the arrow speed. That is the ancient technology, the fastest speed man-made flying object, projectile. Then we're using that to mean you expand your wealth in a quick way in arrow speed. So arrow growth. So I guess this is emphasizing the rate of change is arrow speed. So imagine the bar chart, you're going like that. So that's the implied meaning. I'm just trying to visualize it for you in all kinds of ways. So we're using the arrow to wish somebody accumulate wealth in this diagonally very slanted way, speed, wealth accumulation. Okay, wealth, Chinese made a wealth symbol in 2 separate symbols. The left means the money sign. Just like in English, we have this S with 2 vertical lines. So I never check what's the origin. But in Chinese, we have this oval shape with 2 horizontal lines going through it and with 2 legs dangling over it. And that is the visual representation of seashell. And Chinese used to use seashells as currency in exchange. So when it was transaction media, just like today's US dollar or whatever currency in a note, in a paper form, and then eventually that represent wealth, right? That's the exchange media. How are you going to visualize that? Because that's the media, so therefore we're using that. So in the same way, the seashell symbol then is used as if it's dollar sign for ancient Chinese society. When we see that, we know it's related to money. Now, the right side, 2 horizontal lines connected with 1 vertical line. This 2 horizontal line structure, the first line is the ground level. And then the second line is the indicator. The vertical line is the plant, supposedly the plant. So you can see if we remove the second line, just the ground and the plant, you see the majority of the plant is under the ground, right? Only a tip of it is showing above the ground. And this plus the second indicator line that's intersecting with this underground portion of the plant, which is the root. That means the emphasis, the attention for the language creator intended for the language user to be directed into is this root part of it. That means it's invisible because it's not above the ground, but that's the root part that we're looking at. So Chinese use that root symbol to mean potential, because it's not visible, but how tall the tree is going to, or the plant is going to grow, is determined by this invisible part that's buried under the ground. So Chinese use this root symbol to symbolize the potential of things. Then paired with money sign together, it means potential of wealth, potential of money. Potential money in Chinese, I mean, in today's lingo, just means unspent money. It's still money under your name. You haven't used it yet. You have the potential to use them as the exchange currency, but so far you're accumulated. So it's your cumulative wealth, not spent yet. Okay, so it's all savings. Okay, so 升官发财 is a Chinese way to wish somebody to go higher in the social rank. Mostly in ancient times is corporate, because in ancient times probably private business was not a thing back then. So the only other way that you can make your distinction in society is work in a government organization, you know, under the emperor at a certain level, right? So everybody wants to climb up. Social climbing is through that government and then make more money. And oftentimes the two go together, but a lot of government officials known in Chinese history made themselves different. They make sure they live in a poor, like money tight situation, so that people know they didn't use their position in exchange for personal benefit. They make sure people know that they are really, you know, serving the government for the people. They're not for their personal personal gain. So the two doesn't necessarily go together all the time, but for most of the time, if you're higher in a rank, and then it's more likely you have more channels to make money. Okay, that's 升官发财, and I just translate it as social climbing, ignoring the wealth part, but it probably is implied of there. If you're higher in the social stratification, higher class, most likely the wealth have to be in proportion to your social status. It applies in our today's society as well. And here is the view of, I guess, a New York City view, like people hustle bustle, and that shows like, and also this vertical buildings give you the sense of, okay, those are the corporate structures, like visually architecture structures. They are supposed to go somewhere up there, right? All right, catch into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.